gerrymandering. This was never a big deal. And a lot of priority into it. Fact check that in a moment. Watch how pathetic and weak Donald Trump looks after losing his attempt to rape the Indiana map. Let's play this clip.
Yeah, I just came focusing on this and they were being rejected. I spent a lot of time talking about this and the ways where they come to Indiana. It's really legit.
Two seats in that. I got one yarrow that in the Senate against State. Against Memphis. Actually, President is against. I guess he's done it necessary. He did make the place. Then in a main and a landslide, you have tremendous votes, record votes, and then there's a reason for it, and the Democrats do it to us, so I can't imagine that they do it, but I wasn't very much involved with this thing. Against I guess, head of the Senate, was that Bray? Is that her name? Bray? I'm for sure that whatever his primary is, it's I think 2 years, maybe he'll go down. Let me come to your seats as we always do here on the Latest Bench Network. And a reminder, hit subscribe and help us get to 6 million subscribers. You may think you're subscribed to this channel, but just double check. You know, we're attacked from the Trump regime. They want to shut this YouTube channel down. So make sure you hit subscribe right now. I've counted nearly half a dozen posts that Donald Trump has made on social media threatening Indiana lawmakers if they didn't adopt the map, and they rejected it. Donald Trump posted back on November 18. I'm working with Governor Mike Braun and other Indiana Republicans in picking up 2 Republican congressional seats. The governor and good man must produce on this. We're going to be the only governor, Republican or Democrat, who didn't. He goes and blabbers on more there on November 17, 2025. I will strongly be endorsing against any state senator or House member from the great state of Indiana that votes against the Republican Party and our nation by not allowing for redistricting for congressional seats in the United States House of Representatives. Here's another one on the same day. The entire United States of America.
It is time. Transcendent sword!
State Senator Ron Ray, a complete and total rhino, is opposed to redistricting for purposes of gaining additional seats in Congress. This very disappointed Indiana State Senate Republicans, led by Rhino Senators Ron Ray and Greg Abbott, are now planning to redistrict their state, allowing the United States Congress to perhaps gain 2 more Republican seats. And then, of course, after the Indiana State House voted for the rigged maps before it went to the Senate, Donald Trump posted, congratulations to Indiana's tremendous Republican state representatives, led by its great Speaker Ty Houston and others. And it concludes, it was my honor to win Indiana 6 times. The Indiana Senate must now pass this map as it is and get it to Governor Mike Braun's desk ASAP to deliver a gigantic victory for Republicans in the Hoosier State and across the country. I'm hearing that these 9 senators support to make the right decision. So you see what he's saying there. And the Heritage Foundation, which has their political action, says that if they adopt, they're the ones who drafted Project 2025 before the vote. They said if the Indiana State Senate does not adopt Donald Trump's gerrymandered maps, then Donald Trump, they said, will not give any help to Indiana. Their roads won't get paved, their bridges won't get fixed, they won't get disaster relief. This is what Trump and Heritage Foundation was pushing. Donald Trump also sent J.D. Vance to Indiana. Don Jr. making posts about threats to Indiana. Donald Trump was all in on the threat over and over and over again. And then you had these Trump MAGA state senators pushing this. They were out there screaming today. Like, look at this state senator. Here's what he had to say. Play this clip. Some say these maps are political.
There! Hit the mark!
Let me be clear.
Ha!
And ultimately, the map was rejected 31 to 19. Trump's gerrymander rejected. There wasn't even close. The MAGA Republican faction in the Indiana Senate lost, and the Republicans there stood up to Donald Trump. So then here's a MAGA Congress member, by the way, Stutzman, MAGA Republican Congress member, okay, from Indiana. And he is asked by Jay Tapper, so do you support not funding your state, not paving the roads, because your state did not agree to Trump's gerrymander? And he basically says, yeah, dude, you are the Congress member from Indiana, and you're saying that your state should be defunded for not rigging the maps for Donald Trump? This is how delusional these people are. Here, play this clip. To me, this is a team vote. This is one of those where we're just like, you know what, this is the Republican Party, we're sticking together. And, you know, the Democrat Party, they're doing the same thing in their states. I think it's unfortunate overall that this is even part of the conversation that we're having to have, that policy decisions are being made for the redistricting efforts. But there should be some sort of national standard, but there's not. And that's why I'm really disappointed. I think it was a terrible decision.
So do you think, as Heritage Action suggested should happen now, that all federal funding should be cut from Indiana? Do you think that you should not have money to pave the roads in Indiana? You shouldn't have money to fund the guard bases in Indiana? Because that is what the administration was suggesting. Presumably you now support that.
We have a lot of projects that we've been working on in Indiana. And look, we know that, you know, just like in business, you work with people who work with you. And, you know, President Trump asked for this. Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson, he put a ton of time making phone calls. There was pushing, pulling, you know, and some of the excuses, there was no good excuse that I heard other than this just breaks precedent, or the president was being a bully about it. This is politics. I mean, this is hardball and we're playing softball. And so my belief is that, you know what, he's going to look at Indiana and say, look, we want to work together, but I need your help, and the state senate failed to help today. And then you had the Indiana lieutenant governor, and he lost his mind over this. Here, play this clip. Do you want them primaried?
We need to start going down that path. Listen, I've been, talking to people all over Indiana for years. I've been in the political world. I've been a delegate myself since 2016 at the conventions, the grassroots. I know that world well. And for years, the Senate has been known as the place where conservative bills from the Indiana House go to die. And so this isn't the first time that we've seen a weak Senate. This isn't the first time that we've seen something like this happen, where conservatives are shaking their heads saying, what is happening to the Senate? Now it's just on national display, and so we welcome that. We welcome Donald Trump Jr. to come in, and we're going to find some really good America First candidates to run in this next primary season.
Hey, Brett, here. Allow me to interrupt for just 1 minute, because I have major news that isn't getting nearly enough attention, and this may just be the biggest issue of our time. According to the Energy Information Administration, household electricity prices have risen 13% since Donald Trump took office, and experts say that this is just the beginning if current policies continue. As you all know, we've been doing these segments about the climate in our reports because, frankly, this is an issue that isn't getting talked about nearly enough. The country climate pressures and the explosive growth of energy-hungry data centers are straining the grid, driving up rates, and hitting families hard. The New York Times reports that rural Republicans in deep red Georgia and Virginia are now voting for Democrats for the first time because their electric bills keep climbing while their elected officials greenlight these massive AI data centers without any local input. These facilities require staggering amounts of power and water, and under Trump, the strategy has been to just accelerate data center expansion while simultaneously taking a sledgehammer with clean energy projects. That combination, growing demand and shrinking supply, pushes the costs directly onto consumers. Utilities are racing to build expensive new infrastructure, from nuclear projects to transmission lines, and they're passing all those costs on to higher bills to people. Communities are pushing back, though. In Arizona and Indiana, citizen pressure forced Amazon and ultra-dense data center plants. Great jobs speaking out. In Georgia, voters left the long-held Republican utility seats because they connect the dots between politics, climate policy, and their skyrocketing bills. But here's the main point. This issue is climate change, from subsidies and unchecked AI expansion on household energy costs. This problem will only get worse. This is a crisis that is hiding in plain sight. We can see it with our own eyes. It demands far more attention right now, so do this for me quickly. Let me know your thoughts on AI data centers, climate, on your electricity bills, and so on below. Let's continue to make noise. Okay, Ben, back to you.
So that's what was going on. Just so you see as well, though, you have some pretty decent state senators there in Indiana. Like here you have Indiana State Senator Greg Walker, and he was talking about all the threats and intimidation that he received. You have so many state senators get death threats as a result of Donald Trump's behavior before the vote took place. So Trump tried to pressure them over and over again. These state senators did not bend. So here you have Indiana State Senator Greg Walker. He was crying and he goes, how would I be able to look my daughter or granddaughter in the eyes if I back down to Trump's threats and intimidation? This is how serious the threat campaign launched by Donald Trump was before this. Let's play this clip.
I held a small baby last night. I think she's about 5-6 months old now. And her mother had her in her arms and she was asleep and she's gorgeous. Baby, I mean. And she said, can I give you a hug? And I said, no, I want the baby. And I said, will you give her to me? And I held her before and she said, yeah. Okay. And I began to cry. As I thought about the future for that child, where we accept that intimidation is normal. Our rules can't even address it appropriately, but I think you understand the analogy I drew. And I shall refuse the offer for the sake of that child and the future of the state. And you're thinking, oh, it's easy. You already said you're not coming back.
Preparations complete.
You can't be primary. Well,
Here
some
goes.
little speed in the back of my
Time
head
to
says,
go.
I think it'd be the dumbest thing I ever did in my life. That's what my wife when I ran 20 years ago. So this stupidest thing we're done. And you're going to destroy our family. I said, oh, it'll be okay. She went and talked to me for 2 weeks. She became one of my greatest supporters. Because she said, there's no reason you should be out there. I can't understand it. The political path that you took does not explain how it is you became a Senate senator or how I've held the seat for 20 years. So she says, I know you have purpose.
Much appreciated. Everyone.
And I feel like today is that purpose. I may be wrong. All I got to work with is what I can read in the plain English.
And here's another Republican Indiana State Senator. Here's what he had to say before the vote. Play this clip.
First of all, let me just ask you plainly, how do you vote on redistricting?
I've already came out last week that I am in fact a firm no. I've seen the maps; they were just released yesterday, and it just really further strengthens my opinion that this is really not the best way
Here we
to
go.
Let's go.
Preparations complete.
What was it that prompted you to sort of stand up, speak out, and very vocal against the president's push to redistrict?
You know, I think sometimes you can use campaign rhetoric with the speech you use while you're actually in office, and well, you get a little bit looser leash, so to speak, during the campaign season. Now is the time to govern. And when it seems quite clear that there might be a combination of a slur, at some point you have to speak out and make sure that and that's done.
Now, other things that went down at that disastrous Trump press conference in the Oval Office, Donald Trump said the following about Ukraine.
It doesn't seem to be affecting something that thing like that. I believe that Digimon professional, real professional. Which is something I don't say about but you are a great professional. Things like this end up in third world wars. And I told that the other day, I said, you know, everybody keeps playing games like this, you'll end up in a third world war. And we don't want to see that happen.
Donald Trump also claimed that he had the greatest economy in the first term, he said the economy was great. We all remember that great COVID economy, right? How great it was when he mishandled COVID. I'm being sarcastic, of course. And now Donald Trump says this term, the economy is the greatest ever in the history of the world. Play this clip.
You know, we had the greatest economy in history in my first term. I think we're blowing it away right now. I think we're blowing it away. And again, prices were the highest they ever were. Inflation was the highest in 48 years, or I think ever. They say 48 years. The president's 48 years. I'll accept that, but I think it was the highest inflation we've ever had.
And then Donald Trump was asked about, he was asked this question from Fox by Ducey, who said, so is your campaign against Venezuela actually about drugs? Or is it now about oil because you are now saying you're seizing their oil? Like the oil tanker and your people in your regime are saying that that's what you want to do. So what's this really about? Here, play this clip.
With Venezuela, now that we've seized this tanker, is the campaign against Venezuela still just about drugs, or is it now also about oil?
It's about a lot of things, but one of the things it's about is the fact that they've allowed millions of people to come into our country from their prisons, from gangs, from drug dealers, and from mental institutions, probably proportionately more than anything else. And from many countries, we're getting them out. We had 11,888 murderers come into our country. Many of them are from Venezuela.
And finally, you had Treasury Secretary Bessent, Scott Bessent. He said basically like, well, they were there talking about some AI executive order. They're like, and now we will make sure we've got the competitive advantage over China. Dude, Donald Trump just gave the H-200 chips to China for nothing. He just gave highly classified United States IP that we all said would cause a national security threat. Just gave it to China. But go on, best let's go.
Scott, yes.
Yes, sir. This is pass-fail. As you said, this is the biggest technological innovation in our country's history. We've seen the canal, we've seen the railroad, we've seen the utilities, we've seen the build-out of the internet and the fiber, and now it's AI, and it is pass-fail versus China. We have the lead, we've got to maintain it, and it is also going to be the single biggest source of economic growth. But everything else we do with our defense, there's no use in having a goal if China's AI can go out. There's no use in spending all this money on defense if the U.S. will remain the leader in this under President Trump's leadership. He is accelerating the growth.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think about that all and subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
The year is 2008. Much like many of the young folks, you're spending your summer days lurking on forums, downloading viruses, and playing the finest of video games. One forum you frequent in particular is HyperGM.net, a niche collective of fellow web dwellers who all have a passion for one particular game, the massively multiplayer online experience known as Gorgon's Garden. A game beloved by this small community, but one which has been completely inaccessible for years due to the introduction of a forced paywall only passed by the use of a digital currency. Microsoft Points, Wii Points, it was all the rage back in the day to mask your gaming purchases through lightly coloured fake money. But the problem is when the means to acquire said fake money shuts down due to inactivity, anything that requires it is by proxy completely unusable. All is not lost though. The forum's resident hacker, known only to us as the Red, has finally found a way to circumvent this, removing the need for fake currency entirely from the game. Now you and everyone else can finally delve into the depths of Gorgon's Garden and find what's making you. This is the hook for the 2025 indie game Gorgon's Garden, a meta retro throwback horror title made in a week as a collaboration between developers Whoop and Fever Dream Johnny. Names you may recognize from titles like Super Pure Pop, the as of yet unreleased Nowhere Am I, and the game that introduced me to this little corner of the indie gaming sphere, Orbo's Odyssey. A title so out there and so immaculate that it may just be one of the best games I've played all year. No funny. All of that is to say that I adore the work these two have produced independent of each other, and all of it is worth checking out, especially Gorgon's Garden. This game is such a unique little oddity that perfectly showcases the styles and sensibilities both of these creators have, and And the best part of all is that it's completely free to download and enjoy. So before I head any deeper on the inner workings of the game, I want to implore you to go ahead and play the thing for yourself and then come back. There is a link in the description, and the game's twists and turns work so much better if you experience them for yourself blind. If you don't want to do that and you're going to watch anyway, then I hereby award you with the badge of shithead. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules around here. This is what you do now. The game opens on a desktop computer. You seem to have your setup in a kitchen for some reason, and you're also a vampire. On the desktop, there are a litany of available icons. Some are just simple things like settings and an option to quit. Funny hamster. The most important to us are Gorgon and the forum. Starting out by heading into the game, we're asked to create a little character and give them a name before being thrown into the archaic yet charming controls and opening area to the MMO.
We need your help. Led by Gorgon, the mountain spirits in the city of lost souls. You're the only one who can banish them.
Alright, you don't have to tell me twice. Just tell me where the endless murder and XP farming is. Oh.
We hope you enjoyed this demo. Please visit our website and to buy a premium membership with King.
I knew this was coming, but I thought they'd at least let me squash a couple little demons. With nothing left to do, you close the game and head to the forums for help, only to find that this is no simple interaction. The forum is fully fleshed out, really nailing the way these old communities used to operate. You've got the overly enthusiastic, the furries, the kid far too young to be there, the older one that takes himself way too seriously, the illiterate. There is a lot written here. Many of the posts even featuring files you can download and view for extra immersion, amongst other things. And it's all perfectly offbeat and genuinely funny. Shoutouts to Dicklebug Jr. and Dicklebug Sr., the ultimate dynamic duo, and I really hope we get a paperback of The Strange Case of Peter Parsnip, or I can't leave this mortal coil satisfied. Scrolling amongst the posts, we eventually get to what we came here for.
Alright everyone, I have successfully finished my cracker for Gorgon's Garden. Hold your applause. Firstly, yes, this completely strips out that stupid-ass beans currency from the game. Secondly, you will need to get a copy of Gorgon's Garden authentically. Yes, I know I wrote a cracker, and if we're being real, that means I'm skating around the law again, but I'd rather not go back to jail for some IP theft shit again. Anyway, if you're ready to have some fun, click here. Have fun, my piggies.
Never call me that again. Downloading the cracker, we get the finest red pig production I have ever laid eyes upon, and successfully break through the paywall in the game.
Thank you for purchasing your premium membership. Your membership will last forever.
Heading through, we reach the City of Lost Souls, where we're introduced to our first selection of vermin to dispose of. These red guys, these shy little ones, and despite the whimsy, there are a few odd elements here. For one, you and everyone else are absolutely puny. The city itself is awfully dingy, rubbish strewn all over, graffiti caking the walls, and some truly perplexing additions. Like this statue that appears a couple times. The statue is a real one known as the Sleeping Lady, a piece found in the pits of the Hypergeum in House Acliene, theorized to represent a mother goddess. And now that I think about it, Hypergeum is the name of the forum all this has sprung from. Looking into its origins, the Hypergeum is an underground burial complex located in Malta, littered with evidence of civilization dating back thousands of years, but which is now an abandoned husk. Nobody there to call it home anymore, drawing many parallels to the digital equivalent of a forgotten world once thriving, but now out of sight, empty. This all goes together to give a very tangible sense of being out of place, finding somewhere you were not meant to inhabit, somewhere completely and utterly forgotten by time. You run around sucking the XP out of countless enemies until you reach a high enough level to walk through this large, imposing entryway to the game's next area, the Glendyne Dungeon, a sprawling maze of overgrown ruins teeming with yet more enemies to mindlessly slaughter. It's also here where we meet the delightfully designed Stromboli.
Did you hear the very thing? Well, good luck. This place is a maze. Please don't get absolutely decrepit old teacher was hurt. Those who are third can find a way forward. Sure, stuck it up to keep it Johnny, but the place still stands.
The funniest part is Stromboli is fun. You can find the teacher alive and still stuck, and you can even free him from his pipe confinement.
Yes, very understand as well. I have developed this ability and abandoned in asylum. If people would
Powering through, getting lost time and time again because I have the object permanence and complication brainworms, it all becomes almost numbing. As you crash fell after foe, you fall into a rhythm with it all. The gameplay quickly becomes second nature as the background track to the area loops over and over again until soon enough you find your way to the Gorgon's garden. The music is gone, replaced by a foreboding ambience. Before you stands what seems to be the Gorgon, a tall, imposing figure shrouded in red leaves and rotting wood. Text appears in the chat box, claiming you have slain the beast. And then getting back to the single frame of an error message, you get the fun.
I've made semantic in the past night, but nobody does. Jamie, Dylan, help me, please. So much pressure falling in, smothering me. I get the blanket off my face, but I can't see anything. The pain for something dark in the dark comes through.
We complete the game. We are in a new area, Skygrave, an island floating in a dark blue void, coated in gigantic eyes, watching you.
Even with the golden flame, her spirit remains, influencing the minds of flesh and soul. They is needed to put an end to purge the watching world.
The island seems to stretch out further, but we are blocked off, prompted for a password. It seems like this is it. We are left with the end of the wall and our quest unfinished. So,
today's night time, we're heading back to everybody's favourite stage. Someone that'll see the ball may not knock to my liver. Hey, still kill me! It's called a pizza, and it consists of chicken covered in cheese sauce, then covered in cheese, not cheese, and put on the dish. Individual movements from this was mostly everything in the property, but I'm from the dish, and I've never had a problem. You know what they say, it's better late than never, so let's go ahead and take a bite. Nuclear. I think I'm 35 now. After trying and failing to consume the Palo and somehow surviving the whole endeavor, I'm gonna say, it was pretty good. Not that I'd ever have one again, because I haven't even it demanding work, so getting 4.75 full letters out of 5. The case is canceled, and this is 2025. You know, the next time that I find an input code 3 times lower than the one I thought I had.
I guess it's time to head to the forum.
I'm waiting for the perfect TRT uploaded yesterday. Looked really good, but I noticed after burning for a few hours to get to that high grade that there's this big effing door now. Repeat, did you add that?
Yes. So, the developers were facing some backlash over the whole microtransactions thing, and decided to be dicks and make it impossible to progress their Skygrave unless you ask them for a code. I suppose there's no harm in going for a treasure hunt, though. Maybe we can find an answer somewhere? I'm as big of a fan of VHs as next other, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of this name.
Green, blue, red, blue, pink, green, pink, blue, red, pink.
Okay? What are you on about?
Colors in my profile.
It turns out, underneath every post by the Red Pig is a link to his own personal website. Upon opening it, it seems like nothing more than a pounding barrage of horrible noise and flaming gifts, and that's what I thought at first too. But going back to the animation show's vision, the colours they talk about match the colours of the gifts on the pig's website. And when punching them in the correct order, a new file is added to the desktop. Opening it gives us... I guess we have our password. Blanket. A word referenced in that single frame command line window, tying the post, pig, and the password directly to whatever this is. Heading back to the game, we are through to the rest of Skygrave, where we immediately begin the loop of killing simple lines and 5 minutes in, as if trying to put you at ease, saying, forget about that other stuff. Blankets? Hey, just kill these things. Oh, your level went up. Yet despite the new characters, the numerous graves and funny little epitaphs, it only takes a 10-minute skies with a glimpse of the ominous molten red planet. This is going to put you right back in the headspace of the room with the Gorgon. No matter what the game tries to tell you, things are fundamentally different. You've stared too deeply into the depths of the garden, and now you can only plunge deep. Eventually, after battling your way through the horde, you finally find these secret pits.
Arm yourself with the secret pit, blanketed in the tears of the watchers, and free this world.
There's that word again. Ever present, ever reminding you of yourself. Walking up the altar amongst a circle of giant graves, the game flips out, sounding almost as if screaming out a message. See, your wallpaper has been changed, floating dismembered arm in a void of faces. The arm giving context to the magic word text document. What seemed like a red smear of pixels is now clearly a recreation of this arm, as if taunting you. Reopening the game, a number of changes have occurred. You are now in an area known as the Black Lion Chapel. Your health, max magic points, and level all frozen at 1998. The XP bar simply reads goodbye. Lastly, your name is different. Whatever you chose to be before, you're only Dylan now. A name reached out to in the hidden command line window from way back when. The chapel is a spinning, nauseating ball of flesh filled with countless faces watching your every move. The area is filled with these red amalgams of veiled things that whisper and attack you. Killing them, they explode into gore and scream out in pain. It's really odd because despite the drastic turn the game has taken, these guys still have a twinge of the human flaw. As if, even though you're in a hell of your own making, underneath them all, these things are as bouncy and cute as the creatures miles above them. You eventually make it out of this area, only to be jump scared by cool-ass freakers and trudge on until making it to the field of dreams. Before you is what looks like a gigantic, all-seeing dark red eye, or at least a monument of it. In front of it, countless statues of hands grabbing a sky it can never reach. In the center of the area is a large, empty gateway to nothing, and a gravestone.
Trying to the shadow, the temple only shows itself to those who wish.
It took me an embarrassing amount of time to realize that this is literal. The next level only becomes accessible if you walk backwards into the gateway, if you recede into it, which in all fairness is an incredibly cool visual, another of the many this game has. Don't ask me how long it took me to figure out. It's actually a really funny thing you can find on the forum by the animation show. I don't know how this kid knows everything, but god damn, if that boy would be able to figure out. Also, I just want to mention that this whole game is the reflection of the room you're in, and this part right here, this weird-ass blob looks ever so slightly like a really weird face, and it kept catching me off guard the whole time. No idea if that was intentional or if I'm starting to lose it, but kudos to it either way. After receding through the gateway, we enter underneath a never-ending wide field with distant mountains. Chat messages quickly begin appearing in the corner.
Great! If you die, the arm cannot be reattached. Remaining time until then, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When the torch goes for my breath.
For a free, under 2 hours silly little retro throwback, that was one of the most effective scares I have seen in a long time. That hit me harder than anything in games with 50,000 times the budget. It harkens back to some of my favorite what-the-fuck scares from these kind of games. Fever Dream 20 does have experience with this. No, I don't like it. Getting back to the game, you're now in a place called the layout is similar to the same songs, although heavily distorted. And after all this time, another player joins, the Red Pig, finally dropping the veil.
I'm glad I could finally reach out to you. In my own way, I guess. It's unbelievable. It had to come to this. First you cut me out of your life, and then I tried to reach out to you online, and you put me away there too. So eventually, you were all I had left. The only place that you wouldn't expect me. I could never believe abandoning me like that. You forced me to explain to my mom and dad what happened to Kyle. You're a fucking coward, you know that? Pathetic. The longer I was away from you, the more I began to hate you. You could just cut this out of your life, leave me to pick up what's left. Just like that night.
Eventually, all of the maddening walls of flesh come to a sudden stop. We are back to vegetation and wilderness.
Kyle, I'm sorry we lost you. And I'm so sorry that we failed you. Failed me. Failed everyone who loved you.
A floating arm, the same as the wallpaper, emerges from the darkness. Nothing left. The game crashes one fun time. Getting back in, the player is placed in a black void. Shooting a map reveals that there are wolves you are trapped in a small box. Forever. Going to the forum, there are a couple last secrets to find. There's a post titled Wish You Would Fall under the blanket, obscured to make such amends. The post is a wall of random numbers, even further distorted, and the replies are in line with this community. Clicking it downloads a file simply titled 1998. Opening it reveals a photo of an arm, just a mess of red and black chicken scratch. Heading to the forum again one last time shows a post pinned to the board. Goodbye, Dylan. The post has only the link, deardylan.pdf. It's added to the desktop and contains the following. June 13th, 1990. Breaking news. Tragedy strikes. Young teen missing. Presumed dead. Last night, most would have assumed nothing out of the ordinary, barring his thin, chill, uncharacteristic of early summer. Nonetheless, Kyle Castanelli, a local teen, was spirited away in the night, leaving nothing but an arm in his wake. The other two boys involved in the incident claimed that it was the result of a joke or wrong. They had gone out to the woods with Kyle with the intent of playing a prank, the blanket game. As the legend is known, involves heading away from civilization with nothing more than a blanket and a bottle of water, and under the right circumstances claims that once the game is done, the recipient will be whisked away to places unknown. As for the disappearance of Castanelli, authorities claim that the incident was likely the result of an animal attack, explaining the dismembered arm and disappearance of Castanelli's body. Skeptics, however, point out that the arm's shoulder is curiously pinched shut, as though it came fully formed.
Preparations complete.
This whole time, everything starts in a constructed ruse. A powerful preordained war way. Despite the option 2000 lies in the you cannot escape who you truly are. No matter what you look, the game has always been your perspective.
The best of this, the worst of that. Time Magazine today unveiled their Person of the Year. Can I get a front roll? Thank you. I do that at home, nothing happens. The Person of the Year for 2025 is a group: Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Zuckerberg, and 5 other off-kilter tech sisters and bros. The architects of AI are the Person of the Year. What was it? What do you think out of it? They call it architects. Now, what do architects? Is it customary for an architect to have no idea how the building they've designed works, or whether or not it will one day rise up to try to kill them? So business started because those people you saw in the magazine wanted a robot to have sex with and to tell them they're good. So they probably have them already. Put that cover back up for a second, because I was saying, ironically, with as much as you can do with AI rapidly, it looks like Photoshop from 2007. They're of the apocalypse. Replaced people are the people of the year this year. Trump was a person of the year last year, but not this time, which is shit, because he's really crushing it. And Trump unveiled his new plan for immigration, the Get Into America Express card, the Trump Gold Card, with, why is the eagle on this lap? Are we to believe that it's a card that wealthy foreigners who live here, for $1 million, you get legal visitor status, you get a pathway to citizenship, and a presidential pardon for one major crime of your choosing. It's a card. now. It might be time to update that inscription on the Statue of Liberty. Never mind your poor attire. Give us $1 million, you're in. You would think a transaction like this would be okay, right? The application's it's long, and you have to get more information to rent a Toyota Camry.
I bet my dad and Hiroko are so worried.
No, my dad doesn't think that way. He'll definitely lose.
Pitching it to the team at Fox and Friends. So it's TrueCard.com. It's live right now. You'll apply for it. $15,000.
One time I didn't come straight home from school, and my dad ended up searching. I mean, can we blame him? After all. But yeah. And what about your friend, Hiroko? Yeah, I bet she's working on that video streaming thing she does. She says she's doing it to get rich, but that's not true. She always used to say she wanted to make anime.
Jesus always said it's...
I don't think she was ever into the supernatural or urban legends. At least not until I lost my mom and brother.
System ran like they were
yeah, I think so. She's trying to find even the smallest clue about...
She should just say so then.
She's just worried I'd feel guilty about it. That's why she says it's for the money. Hiroko is really kind at heart like that.
I still don't really get it.
You will in time.
I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our viewers to Trump Card. It's an intelligent and challenging game.
Is that the Gear
And in the
Force?
great tradition of America, if you're smart and persevere,
Wait, those
there's
things.
a good chance you'll
Are
come out
they-
on top.
He's so natural on camera. It's hard to believe that, especially thanks for saying it.
I haven't seen a forest like this since I went camping in elementary school.
Digimon we saw earlier flew this way too.
Is there titans? Yeah, let's go.
$1,500 she wants kids to use the $1,500 to buy her own health care, which is actually possible. For example, ladies, instead of paying hundreds of dollars for an expensive gynecologist, Jiffy Lube. His name on chance as long as the money is, and as he did it during COVID, he signed his name on the list, just got a check from them. Apparently, there was some kind of settlement made with Amazon Prime, and everyone who paid for Amazon Prime gets a refund because the FTC, under the Biden administration, by the way, sued the company for some shenanigans involving their membership fee, and I got a check. Came to my house in the mail. $50. Your clothes, your hijinks, the enclosed check is the result of a settlement reached by President Trump's Federal Trade Commission with Amazon regarding Prime subscription practices. Since 3 times, President Trump's campaign saying, well, thank you, Mr. President, I'm going to use this to buy 6 minutes of health insurance. Money with his name on it. It's supposed to make us forget how expensive everything is. We can have a guy like my hat, Senatorial. So I just came from that real way. I get home and I could find my brother. I got an email from a store that said, "Hi, James, thank you so much for choosing Trump. Here, would you know anything?" Yes, The reason I'm reaching out to you is your work will unfortunately be subject to the IE Yeah. We apologize. Unfortunately, it's out of our control. So they cost $37. The tariff was $63.39. I paid $100 for $37 plus $26 shipping, and I felt like I had to pay just to make it up to Canada. You know, so
I'm counting on you.
Homeland Security Christy No was testifying in front of Congress today to answer a number of questions like this one.
From the United States military.
Here goes. Stun beat power.
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
We are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Sage. He is a United States Army combat veteran. Was shot twice. A Purple Heart recipient. He had sacrificed more for this country than most people ever do. Earlier this year, he deported him to Korea, a country he hasn't lived in since he was 7 years old. Will you join me in thanking Mr. Park for his service to our country?
Every single person that is serving follows the laws.
Can you, I mean, is anyone okay with this? I shouldn't see he deported him. The Purple Heart? What kind of a person does that?
I'll tell you what kind of person. The kind who shoots a puppy and brags about it in her biography, but he didn't have any good answers for any of the tough questions he was asked this morning. He also arrested the father of 3 U.S. Marines. They claim to care so much about veterans, but they don't at all. And at a certain point, she said, I gotta get the hell out of here. I just
to actually leave this hearing early because the FEMA Review Council is giving their report today on suggestions for changes to FEMA. And I have to go through it, but I will be leaving soon.
I understand. Well, good information.
Here goes.
This FEMA Council people look out. To be fair, she was late for her blowout. She went right to drive on it. And she and Corey Lewandowski had a couples massage. She had to get pizza. And then we have a story that I've been following very closely. The My Pillow man, Mike Lindell, our old pal, has officially thrown his tinfoil hat in the ring. Mike is running as governor of Minnesota. He told the New York Times that no one else can do as good a job as I know I can do because I've had to build businesses, and it needs to be run like a business. And as you can see, this man knows how to run a business. That's right. He took a 409% interest. Did he say run or ruin a business? That's confusing. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm going to give him $1,000 for it. Sorry, Minnesota. Sometimes I have to think about the show.
You don't know I ever... It's weird, but now I... Still...
Finish your holiday shopping?
To be honest, I haven't started.
Well, we are well into the holiday spirit here in Hollywood. The lights are up on the abandoned Hooters. The drunk Spider-Men are drinking eggnog, and we are always up for something festive. So we sent our reporter out to the street for a very special holiday edition of Breaking the News. The news. Holiday edition. Hanukkah, the beloved holiday. Tonight, we sit down with some real-life Jews who explain the Festival of Lights.
No, ain't no Jew.
Daughter, dancer, prancer, and my taking photos.
Guys, we're going to put Santa Claus flying overhead, so everyone look up for Santa. And while we wait for Santa, I would like to address some...
Of all the mysterious enigmas in Cyberpunk 2077, none are quite as poignant as Mr. Blue Eyes. A character who crops up time and again throughout the game, usually secretly, sometimes not so secretly, and appears tied to an organization with immense power and resources. Aside from direct encounters with Mr. Milo, there's also events throughout the game which link him to other plots and characters around Night City that draw together this ginormous underlying plots involving mind control, AI, space, and so much more. In this mammoth server video, I'll be tying together all of these subtly connected secrets and plot threads to paint a picture of the grandly unified Mr. Blue Eyes conspiracy.
This
There's another few close stories we can jump into this theory.
Ready to go.
I think the best place to start is with Digimon. The first quest we likely play, which Mr. Lopez is definitively tied to, and even shows up in the second of the two quests. For them, a personal matter of security. To some discovery issues getting and sexually no evidence. Aliens have weapons with security lockdown, excessively attempting to convince him. Thanks to this, the suspects of that murder is again Mr. Lopez, by extension, with the discoveries made during this quest, merely serving to strengthen that thesis, as well as the terminals in the non-secret downstairs security office.
Everyone!
Here's 5 reasons why Virgin is the best way to be. He's driven, decisive, and keen.
50 Cent has been promoting this documentary with Lee. He's been because he hates Diddy so much. He hates Diddy. You think you hate stuff. You do. You think you hate things. Oh, I hate racism. No, not as much as 50 hates Diddy. Oh, I hate sexism. You haven't even met sexism if you compare it to how much 50 hates Diddy. Oh, I hate olives. You love olives compared to 50 hates Diddy. Not ready for how much 50 hates Diddy. He hates his, first of all, he hates some episodes. He hates this man. Episode after episode, he hates him enough to get good footage. Narrative stringing footage. Complete through-line footage. Scene footage. And he hates us doing even promoting everywhere, going on talk shows, everything. Goes on all these talk shows. This dude went on like MS Now, whatever they're calling it, and he's talking to he's talking to Ari Melber, and Ari's asking him, just it seems like they're having a conversation about like him specifically, and they're like, do you have any heroes maybe you look up to? And from what I can tell, 50 was basically like, I have people in my life that accomplish things that I would like to accomplish, but I don't put anyone up on that level to just like call them my hero. He doesn't like deify a person like that. And then Ari asked him, about like in your life, have you seen any like villains you don't want to be like, people you don't want to pattern your life after? And he was like, Diddy. This dude has been making this documentary for a while, just quietly, in the shadows, just collecting, just making it happen. Decade of work going into a documentary. And now it's like he gets to show it off. This is his baby. And you know how new parents are. You know how new parents, this is a miracle of life happened through you. You made this person that you see, it's changed your whole perspective on the world. You see this person out there, you can't. Anyone brings up how you been late, how have I been? This person, the miracle of life, my baby. Look, do you want to see my baby? Do you want to see pictures of the baby? You have thousands of pictures of the baby. But no parent that I've ever met is promoting their child the way 50 is promoting this documentary series. This man went on, apparently, this is the rumor, apparently he went on like the ABC stations specifically to do the interview because ABC is one of the only stations they play in prison. This is a biblical amount of hate. This is didn't handle this much. He was doing everything, looking right to the camera, smiling and waving at Diddy. This is insane. This is wild. He's smiling so hard. I've never seen him smile like this. This man's smiling. 50 Cent in every interview is smiling ear to ear. I didn't know he had nipples. I think they just came in. This is wild. He hates him so much. Oh man, wow. He hates him. So like, I've never seen hate like this, and to produce something that is both like a product of your hate, because most hate is fruitless. People talk about hate, and one of the what's most famous quotes, hate is drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. Apparently, hate is also making a documentary series detailing how much everyone else should hate this person. One of the greatest things to me about the documentary is that the pure link means that he's more evil now. Now that we've got like a document, but he's more evil now than a bunch of other historical figures. There are people from World War II that did not get 4 episodes on them anywhere. It's crazy. During the trial, I don't know if y'all saw this, but there were some people that were...
Preparations complete.
They were out there saying, like, free Diddy. They were out there, you know, with signs, like picketing, like he might be innocent, and maybe he was just another innocent black man being railroaded by the system. And apparently, all those people were being paid $20 an hour by Diddy.
I love it.
Prepare yourself, poison! Hey, that's what's so funny about that to me is that, like, they're out there being like he's innocent, but they're also not hiding the fact that he is paying them to say that. And not only is paying $20 an hour to stand outside and be like, yo, free Diddy outside the courthouse, but even while paying $20 an hour, he was only able to get like 14 people. Do you know how guilty you have to be offering up money, and then if people just pass him out the street like, I think I'm good. Do you know how many people could use $20? People really don't get on the train asking for change in New York all the time. And even they were like, you know what? Not every $20 is a good $20. Documentary is insane because there's so much that we knew beforehand. There's so many things that we already knew. We're like, all right, this, you know, we've all seen it. A lot of baby oil, way more baby oil than anybody needs, right? Which I will say this: watching the documentary now, knowing what we know, editing-wise, they didn't need that many shots of baby oil. That does feel. 50 Cent was standing in the editing room like, no, and put some baby oil right there. No, they mentioned baby oil, so go ahead and throw to the baby oil. When you watch it, and yeah, you already knew the things he was implicated in. You already saw. Okay, there's this shooting way back when. There's this assault of this other rapper. There's all of these like whisperings, and then you watch the documentary, and I don't know how he did it. I don't know how 50 Cent did this. This man managed to get things we've never seen before. Do you know how hard it is to have never before seen footage of things from like 20, 25 years ago? Like, a good example is, in the documentary, they talk about how much Diddy may have had to do with the deaths of both Tupac and Biggie, right? Which is also insane that someone who can't rap at all
I'm counting on you.
may have deprived us of two of the greats. That's crazy. It would be like if Trump shot two of the presidents that were on Mount Rushmore. Like, it's... And then years later, we're just sitting here like, that was, you know, Black George Washington. No, it's wild. So in the documentary, there's like footage, foreseen footage of moments leading up to the deaths of both Biggie and Tupac. I can't describe how hard it is to come by things we didn't even know existed. All of these were police investigations. Police investigated, not hard, the police investigated the deaths of Biggie and Tupac. and somehow 50 Cent found footage. I've never in my life hated somebody enough to find footage.
Stun beat blow!
There's like this video, and this also you gotta go back to when this happened. This isn't when everybody had like a footage maker in their pocket. Did you know how we are accidentally being surveilled at all times? Always. I know you think you're not because maybe you don't have your phone out and you're not posting where you are. The phone knows. The phone is very aware of where you are. The phone snitching. The phone. Your phone's favorite things to do is hit up a Fortune 500 company and be like, we over here. In case you want to study our patterns, figure out how to advertise to us, we're right here. We are completely and totally surveilled all the time. People don't realize that, like, even if your phone is off, you are just taking a walk. Maybe you're like, you know what? I want to break. I want to break from everything. I'm gonna take a quick break. I might even leave my phone at home. I'm just gonna go for a walk. That's great. Detach for a second. The thing in your pocket is too much of your life, and too much access to you comes through that thing. Like, sometimes just for the sake of your mental well-being, you take a break from it, right? And you assume when you take that break that the phone can't even stitch. Meanwhile, you're taking a break, walking through your neighborhood, getting caught on every ring camera. Everybody got a ring camera. You getting caught from ring camera to ring camera to ring camera to ring camera to ring camera. And even when they try to ping your phone, the phone like, he not here. Like, the phone.
Here I go.
The idea that, like, any crime goes unsolved is wild to me. The way we are surveilled now, like, had you not catch them, I know where they are right now. That's crazy. So you go back a little bit. Go back to before it was so easy to keep track of everyone. Because even when people text you, they expect an answer from you. They have your number. They know what's your phone. It said delivered on their end, right? And unless you fixed it on your phone snitched on you to them. It said red to them. It said red. It said he saw it. He just don't want to answer. It said it.